Welcome to the Savvy Radio Show. Today is Nerd Rock Wednesday, dedicated to helping you learn more about technology to increase yourself and your business empire.
Bing, bing, boom, boom. You just entered Nerd Rock Wednesday with the Savvy Landlord. That's me. My name is Steven Van Kallenberg, and you just entered into the Savvy Radio Show. Oh, man, I was doing some research on some tech stuff over purchasing phones. I think phones is a critical mass for society. I run my whole business on my phone, and I was Googling up some websites, which I'm going to just drop real fast. Phone Scoop, Gazelle, I don't know what else I was thinking about. But the point is, I was about to do an episode on it, and I came across this website article that was like, ooh, that would be a better subject than me trying to teach you how to compare phones with Phone Scoop and blah, blah, blah. And there was 10 reasons why the Android still beats the iPhone. All right, I cannot take credit for this. This is on a website called Tom's Guide, TOMSGUIDE.com. And the blog post or article, I don't know any of what's the difference. It's Arvam, AVRAM, Plitchett, PILTCH. Anyway, I just love what this guy says. iPhones grab a lot of attention because they're slick and they're sexy. But there's many reasons why 82% of all smartphones are sold that are run on Android. Interesting. I thought that was an interesting, Apple provides a completely catered from the top down, like from the CEO. Hey, we dictate, this is what we know our customer, we know what's going on. And I love what he said, like, no one's interested in these things. No, you don't want to trick out your phone. You want to just make it idiot proof. And I agree. I run businesses, but that's one thing that drives me bananas about iPhone. You're restricted. You can't do certain things like plug in your phone into a computer and download photos, right? With iPhone, you have to have an iTunes account. And if you listen to my episode 100 ago where my wife lost her phone and we couldn't get these awesome photos off unless we owned an Apple device. Whack. Okay. But, Android, and I love his example. This guy, Aram, he said, it's like Android is like taking off training wheels and lets consumers choose from what hardware and software and what access to apps and key technologies, for example, like removable storage, 3D cameras, 4K screens. And Apple just doesn't think that you as a user can handle it. Like you're a toddler and you can't trick your phone out. And, with Android phones are unlocked and, you have a lot more control. So let's just dive into the 10 reasons why iPhone is not as superior as you think they are. First of all, they have amazing marketing, and that's why everyone thinks that the iPhone is amazing. And to be honest with you, I did rock an iPhone for a while. It is an amazing machine, but is it worth $749? Let's number one, better value. No doubt you can get a lot more better phone on a retail side with a Android phone. For example, the cheapest iPhone, you can get a blinged out Android phone. Check it. So for $399, this is retail for an iPhone SE, $649 for iPhone 6S, and iPhone 6S, and $745 for. That's the SE is $649, and then the iPhone 6 is $750. Dude, because, being cool is not cool, but you can get a blinged out Google Nexus, what I have, for $349. That's the $349 unlocked. Or you subscribe to the Google product called this Project Fi. You need to Google that up. Google up Google Project Fi. I should probably do a podcast on that. You can get that phone for $350 and it's smoking hot full HD, Snapdragon, and you probably don't know what all that jazz is blinging. I have a Nexus 6P, and it's out of control, amazing. Number 2, more storage for less money. iPhone, you only for $650 for an iPhone S. For the Plus, it's $750. You only have 16 gigs in there. With a Samsung, you can get 32 gigs. With the G5, these are all the blinged out phones. But here's an interesting thing that's off the chain. My wife rocks an LG G3, and that phone is still 3 years later crushing it. Super fast, no problems. She loves that phone. And guess what? It only costs us $200 unlocked on eBay. Check that phone out. It's LG 3G or G3, whatever the frick you want to call it. All right. So that was number 2. You get more storage for less money. Number 3, higher res screens. You can get a blinged out phone, and you go read this article or blog on tomsguide.com, and he breaks it down even better. The cool thing, so screens are better on a premium compared to, of course you're going to pay for it, but just straight out the gate. In Huawei phones, Honor 5X, which is my phone, a Nexus phone, they're just top quality screens. But number 4, 3D cameras and advanced virtual reality. That's the VR. They already come preloaded, ready to roll. That's one thing I love about the Nexus Google phone. I click a button and it casts onto a television instantaneously with Google Chrome, Chromecast. I can click a button. I don't have to go through all this rigmarole and get approval because I'm a little kid from iPhone. So back to number 4. So if you really are a nerd rock, and this is what Wednesday is, and I believe iPhone is a cutting edge in some, I think, on their devices, like physically and the aluminum and the metal and all that jazz. But if you're looking for a cutting edge technology, look no further than an Android phone. They have all the newest and crazy gadgets that you can add on it. One thing that a lot of people don't know is the OTG connector. You can plug in any USB device into your Android device. So check this out. So it's called an OTG. Just go to eBay or Amazon and type in OTG Android. Now you got to have an Android phone. You put that in and you can plug in any USB device. It's sick. You can plug in a mouse. You can do a Bluetooth, a wireless mouse, and you can operate a mouse on your phone, on your Android device. You can plug in a USB like a jump drive and watch movies off of your jump drive without using your phones. You can't do that on an iPhone. An interesting thing too, you can plug in a game controller on your Android and start playing games. Number 5, what's the 10 reasons Android beats the iPhone? Customization, widgets, and skins. That was my favorite thing right out the gate. It was hard for me to switch from an iPhone. I had an iPhone for a long time, but I was just tired of being controlled. And my whole life is in Google Maps, Google Calendar, Gmail. I just love everything is Google Drive. And when I finally got onto the Android a couple years ago, oh shucks, you could do widgets like a weather widget, and it's customizable. You can't do that with an iPhone. Number 6, there's a lot more hardware options, including rugged phones. I run a property management company, and we're in the field. We drop the phone. You can get more rugged phones than you can with an iPhone. Yeah, you can get an iPhone and get the $70,000, $75 OtterBox, but you can buy a phone right out the gate. Go down to Verizon, buy a Casio pre-made construction type phone, and you're good to go with no extra costs. All right, so that's one other thing. There's more options. Number 7, working file system. I love this. In your settings, and especially apps, you can find anything on your phone relatively simple. You can store documents. You can't get into the background of your phone on an iPhone. So what I mean by working file system, you can copy files back and forth off your phone like a jump drive. You don't need any permission. You can drag and drop a video, a movie. Say you buy a digital copy of your movie. A lot of videos come out. You can buy it comes with a HD DVD or whatever, and it comes with a digital copy. Well, you can't do that on an iPhone. Here, you could download it and just drag and drop it over to your phone and click a button, and next thing you know, you're watching a movie. You didn't have to log into iTunes, give your password 10,000 times, and iPhone is watching you and knows exactly what you're doing and they're controlling every situation. It drives me freaking bananas. Number 8. This is probably one of the very, and someone told me that you can do this on the iPhone, but I didn't know, because back then I didn't have that on my iPhone, but maybe you can do that now. And number 8 is universal sharing. Okay, so it's crazy what you can do. Like, you're on a web page and it's awesome, and you can click a button and you can share it. You can share it to a Facebook direct message. You can store it in Drive. You can send it as an email, a Gmail. You can put it in Hangouts. It's crazy. You can share things so easily through your phone. Like, I read a lot, so I read an article about raising kids. Boom, I click a button, it goes right to my wife. It's universal sharing. With the iPhone, I know, if I remember back in the day, you have to do like 3 or 4 clicks. I just on the Android phone, I click a button and it says, do you want to share? How do you want to share it? All right, now this is interesting, and I haven't been on an iPhone in a long time. This guy, number 9, says Android's back button provides a really simple and helpful way to return to the previous screen. I remember that vividly, that you get lost in the iPhone. I'm like, how do I get back? On the Android, it's pretty basic. You have a back button. Pretty pimp daddy. Number 10, multi-window support. This is really cool. I see this on a Samsung or an LG, which I have a Nexus and I can't do this, but I remember doing this back in the day. You can have a split screen. For example, I don't know how frustrating you are, is that you're trying to type an email and you can't remember an address, or you got to kind of flip back and forth to a screen. Of course, Android is down for the multitasking, but you can have 2 screens, 2 multitask. So you can have, like, on the top, you can have your Maps program going, and you can be on the treadmill and you can look up an address, and then you can type in the email on the bottom. You could be watching a movie on the top of the screen and taking notes at the bottom of the screen. So that's one cool thing I love about Android too. It's a multi-window support. Anyway, so I'm not trying to get you off the Apple train. If that's you, I know you're out there, Thomas and Sean McVicky and all this other jazz, but just consider Android. Your life will be set free of the options. And I'm not a hater. I'm just, I want to bring that other things are available, and don't be controlled. Live in freedom and save money by buying an Android so you can go buy assets so you can bless more people. My name's Steve Van Kellenberg. You listen to the Savvy Radio Show. If you like this episode, cool. If you don't like this episode, whatever. But if you want to hear more, go to the SavvyRadioShow.com. Nerd Rock Wednesday.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook, and always be buying assets.